All right, so this is one example of if you are using a concept map to do an ontology, but this one shows mostly the hierarchies for clause. This is a pretty good. And today we are going to, last time we discussed about classes, subclasses, instance, and we talk a little on property. So today I'm going to focus on property and then redo, kind of showing you the way how to do this kind of design of an ontology. We will talk a little bit about how to build an ontology, starting from competence questions. All right, so for review, can somebody tell me what's the key concept between a class and a subclass? I'm going to turn off my camera. Oh, the class and the subclass. No?
Talking about a parent, it's a parent relationship or something.
Yeah. So
So is
this,
or is
yeah, is a relationship. But here is a key I will share with you. We discussed last week, because Alex, you're not on the call. So this is a key. If I say something subclass is a class, this is a subclass and class relationship, which means every instance of A as a subclass is an instance of B that is a class. So you have to make sure that all are logically correct. And then we discussed about what is instance and what is a class. So a class is more, instance is like a material, like the thing that is in this word you can really find, but class sometimes is more abstract. Okay, so let's go on. Today we're going to talk about the property. Oh. We're supposed not to, yeah. Oh, no.
So, may I ask a
Yes.
question really quick here?
Sure.
Like, for example, if you have like immunotherapy, right?
Hmm?
So immunotherapy will be class. Is that correct? And then if you have something subclass inside, for example, cancer immunotherapy, that can be subclass. And then in
Right.
cancer immunotherapy can be some specific instances in there, for example, immune checkpoint, blockage, recombinant cytokine, oncolytic virus, all
Yeah.
kind of thing, right?
Yeah,
So
all those things
class,
are the
class
are the
instances. Okay.
yeah, all those things are the class in an ontology. But if
Mm-hmm.
you say, if you in your experiment you are doing that exact, you have a tube, in the tube you have those solutions, and you are doing this exact let's say immuno assay,
Immunotherapy. Uh-huh. Okay.
and you have a tube number, let's say 1, 2, 3, and you have assay 2, 3, 4. Those are the instance in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But when you think about that thing, you always think in the abstract concept, right? And the ontology is to kind of to define a knowledge base for all the things you want to define in this space.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, so today we are going to talk about property.
Mm-hmm.
Property is, it has there are many things to describe a thing. So the thing can have attribute, the attribute can have value, and this thing can have relationships with other things in the world. So again, I'm using my cat. Minnie as an example. So Minnie has a lot of attribute. At this time when it was taken, she's 6 months, and her birthday is this date, March 15th, 2022, and her breed is American short hair, and she has coat calico that is orange, black, and white, and she has a gender that's female, and she has a weight that is 4 pounds. So all these are, you can represent them as value, especially age, birthday, even gender, but people can also define what is female, what is male. There are, yeah, but weight can be 4 pounds, can be a value. And she also has some relationship with other things in the world. So this Minnie, she's a daughter of Molly. Molly is her mom, and she has owner me. And she's my pet. And she has a brother. Her brother's name is Lucky, and she vaccinated by a rabies shot at a certain date. And she was treated by Capstar 11.4 milligram. That is a flea treatment meds that she has, and the Capstar is a treat name. And she's spayed, so spayed by this Dr. X. And you can see the differences of these two kind of property related with this Minnie. So on the top, the things are not really related to anything else. It's more, can be data property, annotation property, or can be also any object of property, because this get more complex, like a code, can be a color, can be a quality can be a class, but we don't go there. So data property means that the property will link to a data item, like 6 months, 4 pounds. Those are data item. Annotation can be something else, but people can also say birthday can be an annotation. It's a date. Data can be a data property. All those can be very flexible by anyone who kind of designed the ontology. But the object property are more easier to identify because it is related to another node, a thing in the word. So Molly itself has some attribute. Elsie and myself has some attribute. Lucky has attribute. Everything has its own attribute and the relations to our others. So by this way, you expand your whole knowledge base, right? Okay. So now I have a quiz. Is Minnie an instance or a class? My cat Minnie.
Instance.
Right, correct. Because she is existed in this world. She's not an abstract concept, but do not use abstract concept as the differentiate of class and instance. Instance always instantiate a class. Instance itself cannot be instantiated. That would be a basic difference, because there are things in the world that is abstract and they are a class. And there are things in the world that is abstract and they are instance. For example, I'm thinking a unicorn in my mind, and the unicorn in my mind is abstract, right? That is an instance because I'm thinking my unicorn in my mind. So this is the example to show you do not use abstract or non-abstract to differentiate instance and class. The basic, but you can think that way, but the basic difference is that instance cannot be instantiated. Okay, so second questions. What are the superclasses that you can think of when we put this mini in an ontology, for example, a cat, and mini is an instance of some class, and then this class is there any superclasses for this class that you can think of?
Pets or animals.
Yeah, pet. Yeah.
Mammal.
What?
Mammal.
Yeah, it's yeah. What about cat?
Yes, cats. Right.
Anything else? What about a kitten? Because she's only 6 months, still a kitten.
Right. Right.
Yeah, so this is what I'm thinking of, but you can put more. So here, down here is Minnie. She, at the time when she was shot, September 10th, 2022, and she's an instance. She can be an instance of all these classes, and we can, according to how people define their ontology, they could make it multiple ways. So I say, because I know people, so I'm thinking of cat ontology, for example, for the animal rescue. I know people are looking for kitten, looking for specific breed, American short hair or Siamese cat. They would have, so those kind of classes would be very helpful. And there would be also black cat, calico cat, or orange cat, female cat, male cat, or the cat that is spayed or neutered, the cat that is not spayed or neutered. All those can be a class and can be a named class, defined class. And as for pet, pet is a little bit more complicated class. That pet is not a subclass of cat. Do you agree? Can you draw a subclass relationship between pet and cat?
It's a bit difficult.
Yeah, you can't, because not all the cat are pet, and not all the pets are cat. Pet, a dog can be a pet, a bird can be a pet. Like a little what there are some snake or little rat can be a pet. So the pet has to be defined. I just roughly defined here. There is a pet role. The cat who plays a pet role is a pet. So meaning she plays a pet role when she is my pet. Before she was adopted, she was not a pet. But now she is adopted by me and she plays this role, pet role. So she's a pet. She's an instance of pet also.
So
So
would
yeah.
would the role be a property in the cat?
Yes, has role is a property. So if this mini so defined with has a role, pet role, and then in the ontology I define pet has equivalent axiom animal that has a role, pet role, then the mini will automatically classify it as a pet. So has role is a property, and the pet role is this property supposed to is the yeah. So there is a triples. I have to introduce triples concept next time. Triples: subject, property, and object. So they always linked three things together. So in this case, animal is a subject, and then has role is a property, and then pet role is object. And the pet is defined equivalent to any animal that has a role that is a pet role. So then you can classify using this axiom. Okay. I hope that differentiate, make it a little bit more clear on what is property, class, subclasses, and instance. And then now let's go to the next, how to build an ontology. Building an ontology has multiple ways. First, you could use competency questions. You could build bottom-up, top-down, reuse, and we need to make sure that ontology will be built fair. Fair means findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable. So I will talk more in the future classes on what is bottom-up, top-down, reuse, fair, competency questions. Basically, when we are thinking of an ontology, first we have to define the scope. What are we using this ontology system for? Because ontology is full of concept, relations, logic, definitions, or axioms to make sure that a concept is defined in a way that satisfies all the necessary and satisfy axioms to define this the questions you want to ask from this knowledge base, from this ontology-based knowledge system. So we will start by competency questions because that is the first step to scape out what your ontology is and the scope is. So there are two reference you could go read, especially this one, Ontology Development 101. There is a wine and food ontology in this one, and after you complete reading Ontology Development 101, you will really have a very clear idea of what is ontology and how to build an ontology. So the competency questions is a set of questions or problems that will be answered by the ontology in design. And this set of questions define the scope or the characteristics of this ontology and its associated knowledge base. But you don't need to be exhaustive. It is like I'm drawing out a lot of user scenarios if I'm designing a system. So the ontology will define the sufficient and the necessary set of axioms to solve these questions. Therefore, ontology provide declarative semantics. So that is the end of it for today. We should do some exercise. Let me see. Oh yeah. So there are multiple tools. Yes.
I was good. Those the last slide. If you could send those links, perhaps.
Yeah, I will. I should. Yeah, I should send you the whole slides. It's just I'm still in development.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
you could just put them
So.
in the chat. Yeah.
Oh, in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. But I have links there, right? Let me see if we can do it in the chat. Okay, it's very huge, but you got it. Okay, so there are multiple tools, many tools to build an ontology. There are some visual design, like this one. I just draw a box and draw the links. So I just use this PowerPoint. And Marwa, I don't know what you use to draw your hierarchy. Can you tell us?
Basically I didn't, يعني it was a PowerPoint. I
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
use
PowerPoint.
a fancy. I think Sarah Al-Ghamdi, she suggested that I use Prodigy, but I told her that usually I used it to open the ontology Excel, but I've never
Yes.
used it to build it.
Yeah. Protege is a development tool, and there's ODK, Robert, out, Ready to, and there are some other Java, Janet, those tools. But for a domain expert, it's good to use a drawing tool, like then you can design it and then you put it in a tool. So we will go through that later. So the exercise will be if we can draw something together.
Yes.
So let's what topic do you want to, let's just use this. So the exercise will be, if you are going to design an ontology, what are the competency questions you want to ask? For example, if I have a closed ontology, what are the questions you want to ask for this closed ontology?
What are the available parts to categorize these clause?
Available parts to categorize?
Meaning if I'm going to search for something, I need to know which parts belongs to which section.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I recently had, because my daughter, I need to organize her clothes, and it's very difficult to organize. So one question I would want to know is, what are the winter clothes? What are the summer clothes? And what are the clothes that go to specifically for event? And socks, pants, and the clothes can be organized by colors. And I also want to have a smart system, a smart drawer cabinet who save clothes in a certain, depending on its color or its usage, the function, it is belong in a specific drawer, right?
So
And
Okay,
sports
then,
if I
clothes can
share the
go
screen?
together.
hello?
Yeah, is it okay if I share the screen just showing the class and subclass that I have? Sorry, I didn't.
Oh yeah, sure. You can share.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Let me stop sharing.
Okay, because I'm kind of confused. I'm not sure. I just drawing.
Yeah.
Am I sharing? I'm not quite. Am I sharing?
Yes.
Is this
Oh,
the PowerPoint here?
yes.
Okay. So for example, I'm not quite sure if we can classify this as a class, like for the patient and healthcare providers here.
Yes.
I'm just
They are
kind
the class. Yes.
so we can start with it can be like different class together, or it has to be one class here. Okay, patient come to healthcare providers, but each of them here has its own role, right? Patient has its own role, healthcare providers has its own role. So patient is one class, healthcare provider is one class, or it's kind of we draw a line. Okay, in this case, for example, this is my hero, right? IgA, for example, IgIV, right? IgIV is part of immunotherapy, so it's a subclass of the class immunotherapy. But immunotherapy here is one of the choice that healthcare providers provide to the patient with this
Yeah.
specific, for example, specific diseases, right?
Yes.
And then when we draw ontology,
Yeah.
it has to be, it has its own class, or it can be related to each of these?
Yes, so patient and the healthcare providers is a class. They are all classes. And the patient and the health providers, they have some relationship in between. All those your boxes has relations, and these are very patient healthcare providers are all roles for a human,
their own
right?
role. So it
Yeah.
has to be class. So healthcare providers, it has to
Yeah,
be
can be
class,
a class.
right?
Yes, yes.
So it has to be orange here.
Yeah, so you have a good system that you want to lay out. That is very good.
But the
Why
patient,
not? Yeah,
okay.
why not? Because it's time now. So why
Yeah.
not you all go back to list out some competency questions that the questions I want to ask why when I have this system, and then later on you can really make it as a little ontology. Alex, you can do that too, and Malua the same. If you want to choose clothes or if you want to choose other topics, that's fine. But the outcome of this will be that we will all eventually we will have our own small ontology done by the end of the class, by the end of the series.
Okay. And one more question regarding to the tool of drawing all these draw lines and stuff. How to get all those tools?
Yeah, the Visual is a licensed software that comes with Microsoft. Maybe FDA has it, or you need to ask for your supervisor for the license. But the VUE is free. You can download, and the CMAP is free also. Yeah, I will share with you. So the good thing about the VUE, Visual Understanding Environment, and the CMAP is that you can draw a line and then you can very easily to put the label on the line in between nodes. In PowerPoint, a lot of people just use PowerPoint. The PowerPoint is the thing with PowerPoint is if you draw a line, then you have to put another text box on the top of that line. So it's not as convenient as these three tools. Visio is also having that function as well. Yeah, all those drawing tools is very nice. Yeah.
And we're going to be learning that in the future? Or we can start practice now?
Yeah, I think you can do it on your own, explore it on your own. I'm going to stop. Yeah.
Okay.